Good morning. It is I, the Wolfman. It is 5:05 a.m. I don't know if I will have time to finish this video. I am waiting on my front porch in beautiful Florida. I assume it's beautiful. It was beautiful when I went to sleep last night. It is dark as shit and I cannot see it right now. Um, but I have to be at work very early in the morning, and so I am up very early in the morning. And I am feeling fantastic. I had a harrowing journey from Arizona to here, but I am back. I am back. I am back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back in Florida. It's good to be back. It's good to be back on the moon. It's good to be back in Florida. I'm here, and I am recording a video just for you. Just for you. And the lighting out here is garbage. And I will get better lighting. But at the moment, you're going to experience it the way that I'm experiencing it, which is dark as shit. I lit a candle. It's on the table, and I can see it, but you cannot. So this is where we are. I wanted to talk to you about an almost awakening that I had when I was a young child. I don't know. I was probably in grade school when I realized, like, I had been hanging out. I had met um, Mexican kids for the first, or they might have been Puerto Rican. The point is, they English was not their first language, right? Spanish was their first language. So for the first time in my life, I'd been exposed to a bunch of these people who had not learned English as their first language, and they had accents, right? Which, of course, I had an accent. I have many accents. I can hear my southern drawl starting to pick up. I've got Chicago on some of my words, and fucking Irish for some reason. Probably because I watch so many Irish comedians. I don't know. But at the time, I didn't know that an accent was even a thing. It was like a fish doesn't know that it's wet. Um, so my own accent, I couldn't hear at the time. But these people, they spoke differently. And I was interested, as children tend to be, about why do they sound different. And the answer was, well, because they learned English second and they learned Spanish first. Oh, okay, cool. Hmm. But I, after hanging out with them for a few weeks, started to realize that I was beginning to pick up a Spanish accent, which made no sense because I learned English first. I'm not Mexican in any way, and not that there's anything wrong with that, but I'm not, and so why am I speaking with this accent? And then I started to pay attention to other things, little mannerisms, like the things I'm interested in, the things I do, so on and so forth. And I'm like, oh, I've picked all of these things up from other people. None of it is me. And I almost at that moment could have gotten enlightened, but wasn't quite there. But I said to myself, I don't have a personality. I just reflect all the people around me. And this is enlightenment to know that, except I thought that there was something wrong with it. I thought that you were supposed to have a personality. And so the thinking that I had was supposed to have a personality part is the only reason I didn't get enlightened on the spot. I think. It's been a long time. So I was watching a bunch of Irish comedians and I was fucking running over some potential stand-up stuff in front of my mirror and realizing that it was coming out the same way that it was coming out of the Irish comedians. And well, you're not Irish. Why are you doing a fucking Irish accent? And I was like, well, I'm not doing it on purpose. It's just coming out because I've been listening to the Irish people. And then I realized, well, my own like natural accent, it's not fucking real. It's not like it's fake. It's made up. It's like I didn't know how to speak at all, and then I watched a bunch of people speak, and I said, "Oh, that's how you do those words." And so I watched these Irish comedians, and I go, "Oh, well, there's another way to do those words," and I fucking started speaking that way, just exactly the same way as I did the first time that I learned how to speak, which made me remember thinking that I didn't have a personality when I was a very small child, which is to some degree true. None of us, but none of us do. Or if you do, you have many of them. So the multiple personality disorder. It's not a disorder. It's this person has created more than one personality. You've created one and it's fake. I've created one and it's not real. It's like the fucking essence source energy that is me that came into this body, looked around and saw personalities and said, "Oh, that's what we're doing here. We're creating personalities and we're coming up with ways to behave and we're inventing them." And then you've been sitting there in the actions you've been taking for so long that you realize that you begin to believe that it's really you, and you forget that you are not in fact the train or the shoe on the Monopoly board. You're the person playing the game and pushing the pieces. The top hat, whatever, doesn't matter. There's a dog too, I think. Could be a dog in Monopoly. Doesn't matter. The point is, your personality isn't real. You created it. And if you can remember being 2, 3, 4 years old, you can remember not having one. And maybe your experience was different than mine, but my experience was that I didn't have a personality and I thought it was wrong somehow. So I invented one. And that personality can fucking die. Like, it doesn't matter. It can go. And I can make a new one at any moment. It's not a problem. It's not a problem at all if I change personalities. Because they're not real. They're made up. They're fake. And there are a couple of clues that I've noticed that are written right into our language, our English language, to help you wake up to this fact. And one of them is when people say, "Why are you acting that way? Why are you acting so stubborn? Why are you acting stupid? Why are you acting sick? Why are you acting hurt? Why are you acting sad?" And it's interchangeable to some degree with, like, "Why are you sad? Why are you sad? And why are you acting sad?" Are subtle differences, but like they mean the same thing. So someone will come to you and they say, "Why are you acting this way?" And you're being yourself, yes? And so, or at least one of yourselves, like one level of yourself is what you are being, and what you are being and what you're doing and what you're acting is the same thing. So we all know on some level that we're actors and that we're just acting in the world. We know this, and it's written right into the English, the unenlightened English language, where, here in the West, where we're unenlightened, but yet we've written acting as the word that is synonymous with being and doing into the language. So at some level we understood that you're not your personality, it's an act. Another clue is when they tell you that you need to develop your character. It's like literally the same thing that we call television actors. There's funkin' there's Jensen Ackles, and there is, what is his fucking name? Dean Winchester. Or maybe I have him mixed up. Maybe I have the actor and the character mixed up. There's fucking Jared and Jensen, and there's Dean and Sam. And these are the same two people, but one is the name of the actor and one is the name of the character. And so they tell you, "Oh, well, hard times will help you develop your character." Again, on some level, here in the West, we know that all the world is a stage and that every man a player, and you're acting and you're developing a character. So develop your character and act your act. And this could have awoken me, but I told this to one of my very spiritually advanced friends, and she was like, "I'm very bored with this conversation." And it like kind of felt like a kick in the nuts, because it was very exciting to me. But I didn't handle it poorly. I didn't get rejected and fucking defensive about it. I said, "Okay, well, boredom means that you have reached the end, and it's time to write. Like your consciousness is flowing downhill, and then it hits a dead end. And just like water, when it hits a dead end, it doesn't, flowing water, when it hits a dead end, it doesn't stop. It doesn't turn around. It rises. Okay, it continues to flow, and it rises, and then it flows on. So I feel like boredom is your signal that your consciousness has been flowing, and then it hit a dead end. And it's like, okay, so if you're bored with the idea that you're not really you, you're not your character, you're not your personality, the things that you do are not what you're really doing, they're acting. If you're bored of this, then rise up and take me to the next level with you and tell me where this is going next. And she said, basically, I don't remember the exact words that she said, but the long and short of it is, if you're on a stage performing a play and one of the actors is running around and going, listen, you know this is not real. You know that we're just playing a play. And there's a fucking audience in the seats watching this. They're going to be like, shut up, dickhead. Like, play the play. Be like, do the act. We came here to watch you do the act. You came here to fucking act out the play. Why are you sitting around, running around, telling all the other actors, hey, we're just acting here? They know. And so the grounding in knowing that it's just an act is very good to have. But running around talking about it all the time makes you kind of a dickhead. and so here I am talking about how it's just an act and fucking giving everybody a peek behind the curtain. And so I guess that makes me kind of a dickhead, and that's fine. I will play dickhead. That will be the role that I play for a little while. That's fine. But at the end of the day, it's very good to know that you are an actor in a play. And it's very good to shut the fuck up about it. And it's very, like, if somebody is convinced that they are Juliet, but they're starting to feel off about it, it's very good to explain to them. The reason that you're feeling off is because you've begun to think that you are Juliet, when in reality you are an actress playing Juliet. And they go, oh God, I remember. We were back in the green room, and now we're out here on stage. Okay, it's all good. But that is a bit of an interruption of the play. And we want to play on uninterrupted. So, that is what I have to say. I am the Wolfman. I am a trickster. I am a fool. And I hope that you have enjoyed this video in spite of the lighting.